The days leading up to Christmas are filled with anticipation. I just love finding fun ways to count down the days. Hello, everybody. Jennifer Maker here. It's a beautiful day to make a gorgeous Christmas tree advent calendar. Every year since 2017, I've debuted a new advent calendar design to celebrate the days leading up to Christmas. This year, we're going to go back to the beginning and remake my Christmas tree advent calendar, but this year we'll have some fun new updates. Many of you really loved this calendar when I made the original all those years ago, and you keep making it every year since then. You've even sent in photos of your own versions, which I absolutely loved and even shared on my blog. But one question many of you have had is, Jennifer, how do I keep these drawers from falling out and landing all over the place? So I've come up with a reliable way to keep the drawers from tumbling out anytime you move your Christmas tree. Stick around to see my secret trick for stay put drawers. Now let's take a look at our updated Christmas tree advent calendar. I found so many new colors and patterns of cardstock for the base, the drawers, and all of the fun accents. I even have a special way for you to customize your own number tabs if you want. All of these pieces need to be cut out, and for that I'm going to use my handy Cricut cutting machine to do all the hard work. You can use the Maker, any Explorer series machine, or even the Cricut Venture for this project. If you don't have one of those, another cutting machine or even cutting it by hand also works. Once you have all of your pieces, you'll need a way to hold them all together. The best glue I found for this is Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. Its precision tip is especially useful for sealing all of our tiny tabs. For a full list of tools and supplies, plus links to everything in my materials list, head on over to jennifermaker.com/659. That's also where you'll find written instructions with helpful photos and tips, just in case you prefer that to watching a video. So, are you ready to craft an adorable countdown calendar with room for 25 surprises? Let me show you where to get my free designs, and then we will cut and assemble this updated version of the Christmas tree advent calendar together. Step 1, get my free Christmas tree advent calendar designs. First, download my free designs at jennifermaker.com/659. You can either download right from that link by saving the project, or download from my entire free design collection. To find it, look for Libraries in the red bar at the top, and then click either Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. Search the page for design number 659 and click the link to download the designs. If you're not sure how to do any of this, visit jennifermaker.com/svgs to learn how to download and unzip files. In the SVG folder, you'll find score and no score versions of my designs that you can use on a cutting machine. There are also DXF cut files for those who can't use SVGs, and a PDF folder with versions that you can cut by hand. In this video, I'll show you how to cut it using a Cricut. Upload the SVG file that you want to Cricut Design Space to get started. I'll demonstrate with the score design because it creates a smoother result. Step 2. Prepare and cut your calendar design. Here is the score version on my canvas in Cricut Design Space. Select the design and click the Ungroup icon so you can separate the layers out so you can see them all. I always recommend that you ungroup a design because they usually come in grouped. Once you ungroup, you'll see that there are smaller groups in the design, indicated by the arrows in the Layers panel. Some of these have score lines that need to be attached. So click the arrow next to the first layer to expand the top left vertical support piece. You'll see that it has 2 layers, the score line layer and the cardstock shape. Select the top layer that has just a line through it. Click the Operation drop-down menu to change it to Score to make the crease lines where your shapes will be folded. Then select the upper layer with the arrow to select both of the grouped layers. Click Attach to tell Design Space to keep these 2 operations together. This is very important. If you don't do this, your score lines won't be on the piece where you want them. Repeat this process to expand, changing the top layer operation to score, and then attach the remaining vertical support pieces. Then prepare the tree topper and the 24 drawer pieces the same way. Once all of your score lines are changed and attached, that's all there is to it. The pieces of your Advent tree are ready to be cut and assembled. Make sure the correct machine is selected in the top right and click Make. On the Prepare screen, make sure the correct material size is selected for your materials. Since the magnet pieces will be cut from 4-inch by 6-inch sheets, be sure to change the gray mat's material size to match. Design Space will add a few more mats to fit all of the magnet pieces we'll cut. Select the first mat again so it will upload first on the next page and then click Continue. Now let's set our mat's base materials. My first mat is for the magnets, so I'll click on Browse All Materials and search for Magnet. Then I'll select Magnetic Sheet 0.5 millimeter and click Done. I'll leave the pressure as default. And I check the box for Remember Material Settings to save time between mats. Place the adhesive magnet sheet magnet side up on a green standard grip machine mat. Make sure the sheet is lined up with the mat grid's upper left corner and covers the design area shown on the screen. Use a brayer to make sure it's fully adhered to the mat. Check that your premium 5-point blade is clean and in the clamp. Then press the flashing button to load the prepared mat into your Cricut. And then press that flashing button in the middle to begin cutting. Your Cricut will cut through the magnet sheet so you have lots of smaller magnets to work with. This really shows how versatile and, I think, impressive the Cricut cutting machines are. Not only can they be used to cut thin materials like cardstock, but they also handle thicker materials like these magnet sheets without sacrificing quality. We can even cut them both using the same blade. Isn't that just so cool? I love it. When the cuts finish, don't unload the mat right away. Instead, gently lift a corner of the material to make sure the cuts went all the way through. If not, press that middle button again to make a second pass of cuts in the same spot. When it's finished cutting, unload the mat, flip the mat over onto your work surface, and roll the mat back to release the magnets. Now cut the rest of the magnet mats the same way. When you get to your cardstock mats, remember to change your material settings. I'll use the medium cardstock setting with more pressure for both my regular cardstock bases and patterned cardstock drawers, with one important difference. Place your regular cardstock for the base pieces face up on a green standard grip machine mat, and use a brayer to make sure they're fully adhered. But for the holiday themed cardstock for your drawers, place the paper face down instead. This way your paper will get scored on the back, making it easier to fold in the proper way with your pattern face out. For your mats with score lines, follow the screen prompts to select and add the tool that you chose as needed. I use the scoring stylus, but you can also use the scoring wheel depending on the machine you're using. And here's a fun tip I recently learned about Design Space. If you check the Remember Material Settings box after changing the tool from the scoring wheel to the scoring stylus, it will remember your tool selections as well. But you always want to check that your material and tool settings are correct between mats, just in case. Now press the flashing button to load the prepared mat into your cutting machine. And then press that flashing middle button to begin cutting. When it's finished cutting, check the cuts and make a second pass if needed by pressing that middle button again. When the cuts are complete, unload your mat, flip your mat over onto your work surface, and roll the mat back to release the cardstock without any ripping or tearing. And remember to change the material settings for your glitter cardstock tree toppers and ornaments too. I'll use glitter cardstock with more pressure. Place the material face up on a green standard grip machine mat and brayer it down well. Then use the same steps to cut, check, and unload your glitter pieces. I recommend you use a spatula to help lift delicate parts and your weeding tool to poke out small bits of cardstock that may have been left behind. And use a scraper tool to remove the small bits left on your mat after you remove the cut pieces. And if you have any trouble with your cuts, I have many helpful tips over at jennifermaker.com/blades. Now lay out all of your cut pieces face up and organize them into neat piles by type. You should have 8 vertical support walls, 4 octagonal horizontal supports, 8 small box pieces, 8 medium box pieces, 8 large box pieces, the tree top piece, 25 ornament numbers, 16 small magnets, 16 medium magnets, and 16 large magnets. Refer to the Cricut Design Space screen if you're not sure about some of the pieces' orientation. Step 3. Assemble your Christmas tree advent calendar. All but the horizontal supports and ornaments will require folding, so grab a support and your scraper tool. Begin by folding the vertical support in half along the crease line. You want to line up the 4 slots along the side as best you can. Placing the edge of a large scraper along the crease line can really help with this. With the support piece face down, add a thin line of craft glue to one long edge. The precision tip on the Barely Art glue works really well for this. Then fold along the seam and press the edges in place. Fold and glue the other 7 support pieces the same way and let them dry. Next, let's build the support structure for our tree. Set the 2 largest base octagons face up. Hold the support piece pointing up with the bottom slit aligned with another one on the bottom octagon. Then slide them together. Make sure everything is slid all the way. We want to build our structure securely so it will stand up on its own once it's all together. Slide the next octagon into the support piece's next slot the same way. Then add the rest of the support pieces to the other slots on the 2 octagons. Now you should have the bottom 2 shelves in place with the vertical supports holding them up. Take the next octagon and gently match its slots with the next tier of slots on the support pieces to add the 3rd shelf. Add the smallest octagon the same way to make the top shelf and complete the frame. Now that we have our base together, it's starting to look like a Christmas tree. We can set this aside while we work on the rest of the pieces. Now let's assemble our drawers with our magnets to keep them in position. Remember, there are 3 sizes of drawers: small, medium, and large. For each size, you have 8 drawers. All of the drawers are assembled the same way, but I'll show you how to fold a large one so it's easier to see on your screen. Place the drawer piece face down and fold up the 3 tabs along the crease lines. If you're not sure how to orient a piece, refer back to your canvas in Cricut Design Space. Make sure you start face down or else you won't get to show off the festive pattern on your cardstock. Fold up each of the 3 sides of the drawers. Then glue the tabs to the sides and pinch them in place to set. I found it easiest to glue the front 2 tabs and then glue the back tab. Continue folding the tabs and gluing the sides together until all 24 drawers are assembled. Go ahead and let those dry for a few minutes. Next, let's attach the numbered ornaments. One at a time, take an ornament piece and use a small amount of craft glue to adhere it to the front of a drawer. You can arrange the ornaments in numerical order or mix them up however you like. You will have 25 numbers but only 24 drawers, so don't let that confuse you. The 25th ornament goes in at the very top space, under the tree topper. And you could put a special surprise there. Now we have one more thing to do before we can slide these drawers into place. We need to add the magnets. Start by pairing up the magnet pieces by size. If the magnets seem to repel or don't match straight, turn one 180 degrees, or, turn it around, so the 2 magnets line up when stuck together. You should have 8 sets for each size of magnets, small, medium, and large, to match the size of our drawers. Next, peel the backing off one magnet in a small set. I found that using a weeding tool helps if the backing doesn't come off easily. Apply the sticky side to the exterior bottom of a small drawer. Press the magnet in place to make sure it adheres well. Then peel the backing off the other side of the magnet pair, realigning the magnets if necessary. Push the drawer into position on the top shelf of the Christmas tree advent calendar without letting the bottom touch until it's in place. Then use your thumb to press up from the underside of the shelf the drawer is resting on while pressing down lightly from the top of the drawer with your forefinger. This magnet will allow your drawers to stay in place even when they aren't full. Continue adhering the magnets and positioning the remaining drawers in place, working from top to bottom to make sure you can apply pressure from the underside of each shelf easily. Keep going until every drawer is in place and your tree is full. And there's just one last thing to do before we can start using our countdown calendar. We need to assemble the tree top. And don't worry, this part is super simple. So you'll be filling up these drawers with small gifts and candy in no time. Take your white treetop piece and place it face down. Then fold along all of the crease lines so it starts to curl into a cone shape. Add glue to the tab where it will touch the other side of the topper. Bring the other side over to cover the tab and hold it in place to set. The assembled tree topper rests on top of your tree. No need to secure it in place. Plus, it's the secret hiding spot of Day 25's gift. Just lift off the top to find the gift. Step 4, show it off. Your Christmas tree advent calendar is all finished. Just place your advent items in the boxes and don't forget to lift the tree topper to place a gift on the very top shelf. Then enjoy sharing a gift every day of the holidays. Step 5, customize your advent calendar. If you love this project and want to customize the advent calendar even more, I have a way that you can do that through my Advance with Jennifer Maker program over at jennifermaker.com/advance. You can get an exclusive toolkit that I made and learn how to create custom number ornaments with a special design workshop video. The Advance program helps to advance your crafting skills by teaching you how to make these popular designs unique and special through tutorials and templates, as well as give you advanced access to my vast library of designs, projects, and resources. Plus, we have fun member challenges and so much more. Now, I may or may not be accepting new members into the Advanced program at the time you see this, but if you're interested, go to jennifermaker.com/advance to learn more and see how it all works. I think this is just the cutest way to count down the days until your special holiday. I like to use it to count down the days of Merry Maker Mingle, which is when I debut a new project every day in December as a special gift to you. But really, you can use it to count down to anything you like. This advent calendar is especially great for sharing with friends and family. Just put a small prize inside each drawer, and when the day comes, open it to celebrate together. Plus, this is a sturdier version of the original that I made in 2017. So if you've made one in the past and think it's time for an upgrade, this is worth your time. And best of all, no more drawers falling out of place and spilling your prizes before you get to enjoy them. I also want to invite you to join in all the fun of Merry Maker Mingle, which kicks off on December 1st. Get ready for access to 25 free DIY holiday decor and awesome gift projects throughout the month. You can learn more at merrymakermingle.com. I would love to see you there. Do you have more Advent tree accessory ideas or want to see how others have decorated their calendars? Come on over to our Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/cricketcrafters. It is a fantastic and supportive community of crafty, kind people just waiting to meet you. And it's free too. Everyone's invited. And if you're watching and thinking about getting a Cricut cutting machine, I have something for you, because these cutting machines are super useful, and I'd love for you to have one too. That's why I regularly give one away over on my blog, so that other people who need one can get one too. You can enter for your chance to win and get all of the details at jennifermaker.com/Cricut giveaway. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.